to part 2 of Photoshop for beginners. Once again, if you're watching this, this is for total raw beginners in Photoshop that have no idea what they're doing or need help with the tools, etc., etc. We'll pick up where we stopped last time. We selected a flower and we cut it out from the background, if you can remember. I'll be going over some of the main tools that we've already discussed again to just show you more options, what you can do with it, along with teaching you some new tools. Okay, so in the last one we discussed the Marquee Tools. Marquee Tools can be used for various different things. Actually, most of the tools in Photoshop can be used for various different things. In this case, we're going to use the Elliptical Marquee, and I don't want to just make any shape. I would like an exact circle. So I'm going to hold the Shift key, click, and drag my mouse to get the shape and size that I would like. Once I'm done, I'm going to make sure that it covers my flower on the edges and there's a little bit of space left. Okay, once you've done that, you have the option to just basically cut the image in that round circle. If I hold Ctrl J, it will place it in a new layer. And as you can see, let's put these layers off. As you can see, it's cut it out in a circle. Your other option, I'm just going to hit Alt Control Z on my keyboard to go back. The other option that we have is, once it's selected, you have a menu at the top here with further options. In this case, I'm going to say Refine Edge. And I'm going to go down to Feather, and I'm going to drag it up quite a bit, and it will actually show you how it feathers the edges of the circle. Do it a bit more, and when we hit OK, you won't see it immediately. You would have to hold Ctrl J in order for it to make a new layer. And if you put the background layer off, you would see your image. It's beautiful, beautiful flower. Okay, so that's two options of what you can do with your Marquee tool. The other is, I'm just going to switch off these layers. If you would simply like to, for example, make a button, you can hold it. You can go down on your side menu to your bucket, paint bucket, and then once again you can select what color you would like it. Again, the white one is your foreground color and the back one is your background color. You can switch between the two by simply pressing the two arrows. In this case, I'm going to leave it on white. Oh, hold on. Make sure that you are on the correct layer and fill. Now you can go and simply press Ctrl D for the dotted lines to disappear. If you would like to put writing in there, you can add text over it. For example, on the left hand side, you can go to the text. You can choose whether you want your text horizontal or vertical. In this case, we're going to choose horizontal. Simply click and you can start typing. In this case, you won't see my writing because my writing is white. I can highlight it and then go and pick a color that I would like. Simply say OK. and press the Enter key. You will see in your layers that once you make a text layer, it actually creates a new layer for you. Now, welcome is not quite center, and we want to put it on the white. So we would use the Move tool, click on it, click on welcome, and simply drag it where you would like it to be. Okay. Then the Lasso tool. As I said in part 1, we'll discuss it in part 2. I'm just going to switch off some layers here and switch on my flower once again. The Lasso tool can be used for many things. You can simply, it's like a freehand selection tool. You can simply go around your flower and select it. You can then press Ctrl J, which will cut it out in that shape that you've done. Or once again, you have your menu at the top where you can refine it, and you can feather it so that you don't see where you've actually drawn lines. Okay, and then when you're done, you can press Ctrl, say OK, press Ctrl J, and it will appear in a new layer on the right hand side. Or you can use, you get the magnetic lasso tool, for example, if you would like to cut out this flower exactly on the rims, or you have a picture of a car that's extremely difficult, simply click, it like falls onto the shape of the flower almost, if I can put it like that. Click where you want it to end, come back. It's like a magnet, it like sticks to the edges of the flower. This is one way of a selection for more difficult images. However, you won't be needing this in your beginning stages. I'm just showing you for interest's sake. And then once you've made your whole selection of your flower, once again, you can cut out the flower as it is. Remember that you have your refine settings at the top where you can smooth your edges. Simply press OK, hold Ctrl J to make it a new layer, and switch off your background, all your layers below it, to actually see what it looks like. Then on the left hand side we have a crop tool. Sorry, here, your crop tool. This is simply to crop your image. If you would like to cut out some of the background, or you have an image for WooCommerce or whatever the case might be, you can simply crop it, and at the top there's a correction mark, or you can simply press the Enter key and it will actually crop it to that size. Okay, I'm going to just take a step back with Alt, Control and Z. Very interesting tools that I'll be showing you now, I think, which many of the new Photoshop users would like to know. Let's say, for example, you have an image of a beautiful flower, or an image of whatever the case might be, and something is spoiling this image. For in this case, there's a bug on the flower, and you would like to remove that bug from the flower. On the left hand side, you get your patch tool, your healing brush, and your spot healing brush. There's quite a few ways of doing this. For example, the patch tool, I'm going to zoom in so it's easier for you to see. Simply drag along what is in your way, then it's selected, then simply click on it and drag it to an area that has more or less a similar color, and click anywhere and it's gone. it's vanished. I think most of you will be trying out this tool first. Press Ctrl D to unselect the lines or your selection. The next tool is the spot healing brush. Once again, with all these tools, you have a little sub menu at the top here where you can actually select your size brush. You can select the hardness that you would like your brush to be, the spacing, etc., etc. For the spot healing brush, we will need to select an area around this bug by holding Alt and clicking, and it's telling you that it's going to select it, continue, and simply then by clicking on it, it will remove pieces of this bug. You can also click and drag it. And it's vanished. Some tools you use for this type of thing, you'll have to, it's play and learn, because not each one is meant for each specific one. As you saw, this one had lines that was left behind. You would have to find a tool that will do the job. Each image is different. Alright, I'm going to take a step back again by holding Control, Alt and Z, because there's quite a few steps to take back in this case. Another way to take a step back is simply to go to Edit and say Step Backwards. If you would like to go forward, you say Step Forward. Okay, and then we have the healing brush. The healing brush is basically, as you can see, if I click and drag, it's got a little plus sign next to it. That is the color or the area that it will be replacing your circle with. Okay, so be sure to put it quite far out, your little plus sign, and in this case we have to hold the Alt key again, select the area, and then when I move, you'll see my plus sign has now moved. However, this tool doesn't do the best job for this type of removal. Okay, so simply you can press Alt Control Z to step back, or simply Edit, step back, Edit, step back, until you are all the way back to where you want to be. And one more. These are your favorite tools. I love using them. Even after many years, I love playing around with them. Maybe you have an image of you on the beach and there's a person in the background that you would like to remove. Try those. They'll help you out. Alright, then we've done the bucket tool, the smudge tool and the blur tool and the sharpen tool. The smudge tool is basically, I would recommend if you're going to be using images that's 300 dpi, in other words for printing, my recommendation for smudging is no, don't use it at all, as you will actually pick it up in the image when you print. As you can see, when I smudge it here, it's actually smudging your pixels. In some cases, it's okay. If the little whatever you want to smudge is a bit smaller, yes, but you'll see now once I've smudged it enough for it to be gone, it actually leaves a white. It doesn't replace the pixels with the actual color. So a smudge tool is not one of the ones that I would recommend you using while being a beginner. It's more for people that's advanced. Okay guys, I think that covers basically our part 2 of Photoshop for beginners. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've learned anything, please feel free to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for further videos.